What's going on, guys? This is Alex Tex Kate, and welcome back to the channel. What if I told you that there was 5 simple errors almost every competition shooter makes that ultimately holds them back from their potential? You may be committing one of these things or all 5 of these things, but stay tuned and we're going to break them down real quick. Mind you, these 5 subjects are what I ultimately use to acquire a multidiscipline masterclass and what I will be indefinitely using to acquire my Grandmaster.
4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
Number 1, preparation and mental management. And I'm going to talk about this in 2 quick things. Number 1 being your gear, your guns, and so on. Don't go changing mag pouches, holsters, holster hangers, moving the position of things, changing parts, changing ammunition. If you have not had the accurate amount of time to test this in training, to prove it out, to get comfortable with it, there is no need to add any sort of unnecessary disruption to your match in something that is completely controllable with simple preparation and lack of committing the urge to just change that thing that you think is going to give you this edge. The chances are it's not going to give you any edge at all. And this is why. The second thing being your overall mental preparation, and that comes down to your preparedness mentally, physically, nutritionally, when it comes to hydration the day of, depending on your environment or anything of this nature. And past that, even more importantly, your visualization and preparation of knowing how you intend to perform that given day or weekend.
And then I want you to attack. I want you to visualize and then attack. Can you handle that? I tried. Just gonna try.
Being able to visualize what you need to do to make it ultimately subconscious will allow you to adjust on the fly to any unexpected variables that may happen. If you do not prepare correctly, any unexpected variables may completely derail you and send you cascading downhill in a direction you don't want to go. But all in all, mental management and being able to simply perform without overcomplicating, without over trying, and simply by trusting your visualization and your preparedness is one foolproof way of being able to commit repeatable high-level performance. Number 2, the overgripping myth. Stop death gripping. Now, if that works for you and it creates what I'm about to talk about, you keep doing it. But for most people, it doesn't. And what this is going to be that unnecessary added disruption and unpredictability that comes into play when you start to reef on the gun from every which direction. At this point, you're completely neglecting support hand engagement and trying to match that with your on-hand engagement or your trigger hand engagement, in which you now are going to lose complete control of this. And at the end of the day, your stance is first, your grip is second, sights is third, trigger is fourth. The trigger is the end-all, do-all. If you don't have everything else set correctly, the trigger isn't going to send it where you want. You can have everything else set up correctly, and if you jerk that trigger or you jerk that gun on the trigger pull, it's not going to go where you intended it to go. So all in all, the overgripping aspect just creates an unrepeatable amount of disruption, and all in all is almost a sort of excuse for a lack of hammering down proper fundamentals, because at the end of the day, your grip is intended to create a repeatable performance. If Jimmy's grip is super tight and Jesse's grip is a lot lighter, it does not mean that Jimmy and Jesse cannot shoot accurately at the same speed. It all comes down to their intended stimulus based on the repeatable nature of what they have trained. And if you are consistently overgripping that gun, you don't really have much consistency to base it off of. Number 3, muzzle management mayhem. How you're bleeding time, and honestly, points too. And the way that I like to teach this as a former hockey player is how my coaches taught it to me. And this was in relation to reaching with a stick. If the puck is about 10 feet away from you, your stick plus your arm, you're only getting about 8. You're reaching and poking at. Now, what does this give you? It gives you a lack of effort, a lack of intention, and a lack of ended desired result. You're not going to get what you're aiming for. You're going to be out of balance. You're going to be out of position. And the same thing goes for shooting. When you do that erratic sprinting around, hard stopping into every single corner, jarring the gun at every single target, giving yourself a completely inconsistent and unrepeatable ability to acquire any given target or spot on a target. Most of the time when you see someone shooting like this, they might end the stage with 3, 4 deltas and 5 mics, because at no point within that chaos were they able to efficiently reacquire their sight picture on any given target. And beyond that, even if you were trying to be intentional upon your sight pictures, you were now losing time, because instead of the sight going up and coming back, it is going up, back, down, right, left, and then you're pulling the trigger again when you see it flash across the front. Now, can you get a desired effect of the hits that you want to get hit this way? Yes. Is it impossible? Absolutely not. But are you bleeding time? Yes. Are you bleeding points? Yes. And this is something that you can prove out very easily by doing one and then doing the other, even if you do the more controlled way slower than usual. Number 4, the reload rhythm break. I see a lot of guys start to pick up on learning when to plan your reload. And I'd say the most common space is going to be in your biggest dead space, or in the largest amount of time that you aren't shooting for and or cannot engage a target for. So let's just say that that's 20 feet. Do not take all 20 feet to do your reload, and this is where people make the mistake. Don't get paralyzed by your reload, in which you now think to yourself, because I have 20 feet to do it, I must use all 20 feet to reload. No. We plan it that way so that we can use the first 1 to 3 feet to get the reload in, to be reacquired on a good grip and start re-engaging the stage, rather than running 20 feet, doing a over-exaggerated reload that should have never taken that time, and ending up flat-footed in position where you should have already had 1 or 2 targets shot by the time you got there, by executing, utilizing the space in its intended purpose, not all of it, for a single purpose. And if that makes sense, you get what I mean. If it doesn't, to keep it simple, plan your reloads, but do your reloads quickly. That way you can get to shooting sooner. And a second point to that is going to be the speed reload disease, that I like to call it. I spent years caring so much about how fast I could reload, and about 2-3 years in, it never really got me any sort of desired result when it came to any match or classifier or otherwise. And that was because I was so worried about how fast I was reloading, I was not worrying near enough about the repurchase as much as I was worried about when that third shot was coming off. Say it was 2, reload 2. Do not sacrifice a quarter-second faster reload for 2 absolute garbage hits. Make sure you get a good, smooth reload for a good reacquisition of your grip fundamentals so that you can continue to shoot well. And last but not least, number 5 is going to be post-shot paralysis. And this, again, ties very deeply into the number 1 here, which was the match management and the visualization. Lack of management and lack of visualization is where I see a lot of this come from, because post-shot paralysis more so happens in an aspect of lack of visualization and or a lack of trust in one's own training, in which I've seen it in 2 different ways. I've seen it where on a paper target, they shoot the first shot and they just can't seem to get the second shot off. Sometimes it's trigger freeze, sometimes it's a mental freeze and less of a physical freeze, in the aspect of you aren't trusting where the first one went, you're sitting there hunting for it, and you are stuck on target, not realizing how much time is actually starting to pass you by. And in the second aspect, you've got the first, you've now got the second, and instead of recoiling to your next target, you are coming back and hanging around on that target, over confirming, because you don't know for sure whether or not it went where you wanted it to. Now again, preparation, visualization. When I'm walking up and planning a stage, I plan this out, and it is the mental intention that is me telling myself, shot, shot, eye, shot, shot, look, shot, shot, look, shot, shot, look. If I don't think that to myself, I may get stuck doing post-shot paralysis, shot, shot, okay, it's good. Shot, shot, okay, it's good. Shot, shot, okay, it's good. So that's at least how I define post-shot paralysis, whether it being a single shot or 2 shots, but hanging around on target after it's done, or hanging around in the middle of trying to finish it. But all in all, if you can work on these things will most definitely help your overall match performance and your score. But All in all, that is the 5 common mistakes every competition shooter makes. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys would like to see next time. But this is Alex Tex Kate signing off. See you guys later.